Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I am in Las Vegas at the Sahara Casino, and I'm at the Las Vegas Investor Conference, and Andrew is my guest. Andrew, welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about here today. First off, I need to know, is this your first time attending this conference, or have you been to some of these before?
Well, this is the first time to this specific conference.
The Las Vegas Investor Conference.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been to many conferences over the decades.
Yeah, so talk about your experience so far. Not everybody could be here today, but I want everybody here next year. Tell me about your experience so far.
It's been very awesome. We've met a lot of incredible investors, a lot of incredible people that are really great connections and collaborators with us, people that just love what we're doing. I mean, it seems to be the only video game group or ecosystem here for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are interested in what we're doing.
It's amazing. So talk a little bit more about what brought you out today.
Well, we're part of Fusion 42, and they called us up and said, hey, bring all your stuff out. We've got this great investor conference to go to. So Kirk Walker, I'll give a shout out there. But, we're part of that ecosystem of the startup ecosystem, the Startup Alley group in that. It's a very tight-knit group here in Vegas. It really helps founders get off the ground right.
And so you're located in Las Vegas, like the business, the company?
Yeah, we got moved here by Nevada themselves. They, through Battleborn Ventures, they did deal with us to move the corporate office out here and brought some officers that they would match funding up. And we did that a little bit over a year ago.
So I'm a little bit new to Vegas. I want to be here more. I'm located out of LA, and I make it here sometimes just for fun, but I've just started covering conferences and doing shows out here, but I'm excited. So you said that the startup community is pretty vibrant. Talk to me a little bit about that. Talk to me. I'm learning the ropes, man. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it has a way to go, but it is far better than most any place I've been, except for Silicon Valley. I was out there and part of developing it, but started at Hacker Dojo at the tail end of its first year.
Wow.
And that startup ecosystem was phenomenal. And I've always been looking for things that are close to it. This has been as close to it as I've come.
That's interesting.
Since Tony Shea was out here, I think it was far more, that produced a lot of growth in this area. But they're really, with the Fusion 42 group and the Tech Alley, it's really
And Fusion 42, just so I'm clear, because you mentioned it more than once, that's a startup group?
Oh, yeah. They've got a really good Telegram channel. You can find them on LinkedIn under Kirk Walker. And they have well over 2,000 or 3,000 members.
Oh, wow.
I'd say almost half of which are founder investors. Another half are kind of startups.
Yeah.
And they'll put you through your paces, and they'll tell you what you're doing right on your pitches and what you're doing wrong and how to raise money properly and everything that you'd want to know. They've got a room for. It's pretty cool.
Talk a little bit more about your company. Talk a little bit
that's
more
what we're
about
here talking about.
Yeah.
So Convergence, we have the Silica Nexus video game ecosystem. We have figured out how to remove customer acquisition costs from consumer games.
Wow.
And if you don't know much about the consumer game industry, Machine Zone built a cell phone game for $200,000, $44 million to make it one of the top sellers. So if you do the math, that's 99.5% of that game's budget went towards player acquisition. What we've figured out is how to reduce that down to next to or close to nothing.
What's the secret sauce? What can you tell me?
Well, the video games, once they produce the game, it costs them nothing to make another 100,000 or 100 million items of a certain type. It's just changing the number in the database. They give us those video game items, and then we put them in. There's 500 million players a month that trade prize tickets for prizes that suck in 80,000 facilities around the world. You're smiling because
you said 500 million
players a month in 80,000 facilities around the world. Facilities similar to, Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese, big. Time Zone. All these places where you take your skee ball tickets and you trade them in for the vampire teeth or the now you can use our digital collectible vending machine to trade your prize
and
points.
That's what we call it, digital collectible?
It's a digital collectible video game item.
Yes, okay.
For those that are blockchain savvy, it is an NFT, but don't worry about that. It's a video game item.
I understand.
That's being traded outside the video game. So, we basically say that we have prizes that don't suck. Because those 500 million people know
they're trading. Is that your tagline? Prizes that don't suck?
Prizes that don't suck.
Man, I love that. Who thought? I got a little sidebar here. Who thought of that one, man? That's amazing.
When Gmail came out, basically email that doesn't suck. That was tagline.
Yeah. I didn't know that, by the way. It's a great history lesson. Thank you.
I knew that. And then, well, once we figured out what we had here, it's like, well, everybody's trading these prize tickets for prizes that they know up front suck.
They do. You walk into it and you're like, not to pick Dave and Buster's or this or that, but I'm like, yeah, do I really want any of the fun stuff?
You know, you got $95 sunk into the vampire teeth. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I got you. I got some expensive teeth, man. It's okay.
You had fun doing it.
Yes,
but still.
yes.
So, video game items, those are prizes that kids want. That's what the modern day consumer lives his life in the digital world, and we give them items from that. Now, what do you do when you choose a new toy? Because realize this is the only time in retail that people have spent their money. Their money is now gone, and now they have a choice on what they spent their money on, and we catch them right at that decision.
Yeah.
And we have the advantage of a 20-second sizzle reel to grab their attention away from those hot vampire teeth or the Chinese finger cuffs.
Yeah.
Or would you rather have a Fortnite dance or a skin from Counter-Strike? Things that can hold value and gain in value rather than immediately lose their value.
Yeah.
So that's our phase one, is our player acquisition engine. And that'll get us hundreds of millions of players into our system. Well, phase two then is our augmented reality app. Now that they're trading in our system and they're using these video game items, we know what they like, what they're looking for, what they're missing. We can send them on quests. So just think of like Pokemon Go if it was married to World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That's our Silica Nexus augmented reality app, or Sarah. So we can send you a message that says, hey, you want this item, do this quest. You go and do that quest, you might end up at like a laser tag arena somewhere or someplace that wanted us to get you there.
Sure.
You finish out the quest, you kill the big boss at the end, you're the hero, that you get the piece of bubble gum that we taunted you with to get you to do the quest.
Yeah.
Well, now, Laser Blaze might thank you for saving their facility from this big bad boss, and they'll say, you want a free game of laser tag? And you're like, absolutely.
Don't mind if I do.
We'll put you in the next queue. It starts in 25 minutes. Now you're at Laser Blaze for 25 minutes. You're going to buy a drink.
Yeah.
You're going to play a couple games while you're waiting. You're not going to sit on your hands for 25 minutes. We've just engaged you with that business.
Yeah.
So that's our phase two, which people have me talking about now. We weren't talking about this at all when we started this up. We knew what we wanted. We knew all the phases. And there's far more than 3 phases. But phase 3 is where we take that augmented reality app, and now we use it as a fan engagement tool in large arenas. So one thing that irritates me, the Las Vegas Sphere?
Yeah, of course.
Cosmos like a mini sphere in Las Vegas and Dallas.
I haven't been to that.
But it doesn't have the outside part. It's only inside.
I understand.
Okay. They're run off of like Unreal Engine. That thing's made to be interactive.
Yeah.
But yet they use it as a big TV. Every show, everything they've ever done
for sure.
is static. Well, we can use our augmented reality app, engage with that Unreal Engine, and have this a fan engagement tool. We've already designed content around that. We've got Big Picture World and a few others that are very interested in that content and helping us develop and create that content for more facilities like that around the world. Because, if you just think of the Inner Dome, almost every major city around the world has a center like that or a development studio like that that you can use for public things, so we could do these venues everywhere. And that's getting more towards that full cross-reality space. But what we're going to do with it is beyond your imagination. Have you ever done a quest in like World of Warcraft or anything like that?
Been a while, but yes,
How big was the biggest quest?
It was a long time ago.
What was the biggest quest that you ever was on? How many people were in it?
Oh my gosh, not that many. Like I've seen some big ones, like I don't know, like double digits. Definitely not.
Okay, so that was your one team. Imagine if the person in the sphere was the leader of that team. And now you have 15,000 teams going on a quest together with their team outside connect from their gaming machine that's supporting them to try to beat the other 14,999 teams.
Ow, you just hurt my head. Thank you, Albert. My head, my brain just went.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that we've got mapped out and that we're working towards. Think of like the Fortnite Travis Scott concert. That was 12 million people participating at one time watching that one concert. But that was all in the virtual world. We're talking about having the physical world interlaced with the virtual world in true cross-reality or shared reality type of Convergence here. And that's where we're going. That's our phase 3. So you can imagine where we go with phase 4, 5, and 6. But anyway.
Man. Andrew, man, I'm telling you, this has been a lot of fun. Last thing I want you to do, and I want you to tell people how they can follow up, how they can learn more, how they can follow you through these phases. Well,
you can watch us on YouTube. We have some of our content up on YouTube under the Silica Nexus channel. You can look at silicanexus.com. And you can find me on LinkedIn and follow some of us on Twitter. Silica Nexus is the platform, and that's where we're at. We're on all the channels under the Silica Nexus platform.
Amazing. And for everybody watching at home, just so you know, we'll put the links in the show notes so you can just click on the link and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters, and if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day we're releasing new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Andrew, man, appreciate you making some time for us.
No problem. Thank you.